Hello and welcome to another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. Today we're going to be watching a game. I don't know if it's for a tournament or for whatever, I don't know. It's basically a 1v1, and I'm actually joined by my co-caster today. Hello, Bidoux.
Hey, what's up, man? It's been way too long, man. We gotta stop doing that.
I know. We read the comments, you know, we saw. So we made special efforts to actually go ahead and get this one together today. It took lots of pre-planning, schedules and stuff.
I had to cancel so much of my stuff.
Yeah, I had like this thing with this person, but we were just like, no, we're gonna do this.
She was a girl too, so you
I know
really
it was crazy. It was crazy.
It was insane.
It was insane.
But if I know Pure, like I know Pure, he doesn't like to back down his plans with girls because they just yummy, you know.
I don't eat them.
You don't?
That's just, you're like yummy. It's like I make them into a stew.
Chili or like a small soup.
Like a female chili. Okay, we gotta introduce our players. That got sidetracked really fast. Okay, so the map is Twisted Meadows. In the upper left, we have the pink undead spawning in. Well, I got that backwards, but we'll continue as Fs.KurCo, and he will be going up against InquisitiveHawK, spawning in as the blue human in the upper right part of the map. And of course, like I said, this is Twisted Meadows. We'll be seeing Archmage versus Death Knight. It does indeed appear to be a Ted Fiends build for KurCo, and a pretty standard build for human player over here, Hawk.
Yep, the human is building that scout tower in the back of the base, sort of, and then usually we see scout towers being made in front of the base, sometimes in front of the town hall, to when that DK comes with harassing, to take away its mana. So like now it's in the back. It really depends on which player chooses which style to put towers, because I see it change all the time.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a very preference-oriented type of thing, because there's cons and pros to both sides. For example, the cons are, well, the pros are, for example, as we just said, you know, the harassment's much harder for the Death Knight. However, the cons are it's a much easier tower to kill, so later on in the game, you know, when the Death Knight or the undead player has actually built up a little bit of force, they can actually run in there and kill that pretty easily. It's almost impossible to keep that alive at that point. But this is, of course, actually a fast altar build. This is being crept with, of course, 7 militia. And here comes that Death Knight. He's definitely going to be able to get at least one of these militias, as you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and bet 3. Because one coils...
I'm going to say, yep, I'm going to say 3 as well. And these skellies are going to maybe, hopefully, target another one that isn't taking much. Yep, there you go.
There he goes.
I'm going to say 3 as well.
And I think he probably might have coiled the wrong one right there, to be honest, just because that Arcane Tower is up, and that one was running away from the base, and he could have coiled and killed this one very easily. And I think could have focused on a second peasant. But either way... Hawk is actually going to be able to save that one at 6 HP. Very nicely done. Will we see the Death Knight actually being able to get more skeletons into the space and take that one down, though? That's going to be the question going forward for the next 10-15 seconds of the game.
Okay, for Ted Fiends, I have a question. Do you tech before you get your Fiend?
That is an option. It depends. You can definitely tech before the Fiend. It depends on exactly what you're wanting to do. I would say a lot of times... Oh, it looks like, just a quick note, we're going to see another peasant going down. It tried to stay back and build a farm at the laboratory. Unfortunately, KurCo did decide to go pick up some skeletons from over there. And he's like, hey, there you are. And maybe we'll even see him go into that base and kill that one skeleton, or one peasant as well. But yeah, back to what you were saying. With Ted Fiends, basically the 3 options, really, because there's about 3 options. One, you can go ahead and say that we're actually going to see... I'm sorry.
We're going to see Hawk going for the harass,
Yeah, well, also, but Hawk went to deny that skeleton that was in his base with the Arcane Tower, and took 3 hits to kill it. He got 2 off, and one of the skeletons got it, so that was a little bit more XP given to KurCo, and if I'm not mistaken, that means he should have about 100 XP on that Death Knight, and he does. But yeah, we can see him, of course, trying to micro these acolytes away from this harass. This is actually a really aggressive harass from Hawk, and it's a very early one. And I think Hawk's doing it because, well, he's lost 4 peasants, and that's a huge number to lose, 4 peasants, and if he can kill some acolytes, that will definitely help make up for it. But as you can see, KurCo is microing really well right now.
The delay in mining is already paying off for Hawk, because KurCo hasn't been mining off 5 acolytes for a while. He put 2 in his mine right now, taking another one off, and that one might be dying.
It might.
And KurCo's losing a lot of mining time.
Will he get that coil off? It looks like he's just running straight from it. And it looks like we're going to see... Oh, he will get the coil off, and we will see one going down. Almost going down, but it will go down to that footman right there. And, of course, that Archmage and 2 footmen are still up here doing some damage to these acolytes, as well as we can still see over here that 1 footman and water elemental chasing the other acolyte down there. But it does look like 2 acolytes have gone down at this point. However, the tech has completed for KurCo, and he does have enough resources to go ahead and remake those acolytes, no problem. Or look, maybe only 1 went down? I can't tell.
Yep, only 1 went down.
Or was that actually a scout acolyte that came back into the base?
Oh, yeah, it might have been. Yep. Good idea. That's why you should always make a scout acolyte. Just in case,
That's why, yes. Forget scouting, just in case you get harassed. It's here.
That's like the only reason, man. You don't
the
need
only
it for
reason.
anything else.
Well, anyway, we'll actually see the Death Knight being able to pick up level 2 from finishing off that water elemental. And as you said, that wasn't a bad harass for Hawk. It did pay off a little bit. However, as you can see, Hawk is still tier 1. He still wants to go for the expansion, so he was just buying some time, which is a little bit of an interesting choice to do, because normally what we'll see is, of course, the human player going for the expansion and then trying to buy time. But this time we're seeing it in the reverse order, which is definitely much worse, simply because you don't have an expansion up and running while you're actually buying time.
But with KurCo just having one fiend, the second fiend halfway done, and Skellies, he can't do anything to that. Those footmen are going to have to defend, and KurCo's not going to be able to push this until way later, so Hawk is going to make this no problem, even if KurCo scouts it, which he hasn't yet.
Absolutely, I do agree. I'm just saying, like, this is not the situation Hawk wanted. But
no,
this is definitely a great response from Hawk for getting that expansion up, and it's definitely interesting. I will be very curious to see how it happens, but we do have a scout coming in from KurCo, and if we can just have a second, players, please, to go back to the original topic that we were discussing at hand, which was the idea of when do you build your fiend when you're going to fiends, and there are about 3 different ways you can do it. And one, where you can have a very delayed tier 2 tech, and you can actually put 1 or 2 fiends up before you tech. And you can also, if you do 2 fiends, you have to go with the ziggurat, so you have to make a second ziggurat, and then you make 2 fiends, and then you tech, or you can just do the 1 fiend tech, or alternatively, you can just tech before you even put that ziggurat up, or getting a fiend out. So those are your 3 different options right there, and depends on what you're looking for. Generally versus human, you're going to go with the option of just teching really fast and then, you know, not getting your ziggurat and your fiend out. Generally, you're going to go with your tech and then make your ziggurat and then make your fiend, because you don't really need that early fiend, in all honesty.
No, and KurCo's going to steal Hawk's Nulls for level 3 there. And yeah, I think what KurCo did by making no fiend and teching was he's like, I've killed a lot of peasants. I don't think Hawk's going to go for a counterattack. So I'm okay to play a little greedy, go for a quicker tech, but I mean Hawk did come in with that harass, so it was just really good decision making by Hawk at that point.
I would definitely say Hawk played it really well, but again, I would not necessarily agree that KurCo played the way he played because he got kills. I would say that that's just generally the better way to play versus human players, simply because you really never need that early fiend unless they're doing a tier 1 push. That was even earlier than what we saw Hawk do, and then you would need it. But other than that, that's a pretty rare situation. But
KurCo getting harassed back in his base, 1 Echo down.
And he does have that Lich in there, and he will go ahead and try to do some damage. Of course, what he really wanted to do at this point was actually go ahead and harass Hawk's Expo. That's not going to happen here, and we will see that he's using his 3 wood ghouls to go for this Hawk's Archmage, but it looks like he's going to lose a ghoul right there. I'm not sure he's really paying attention to that or microing it, and we did
Hawk
see...
likes gold. Just keep a look at that gold mine in his Expo. He loves gold. Hawk really loves gold. He's got 7, I think, on his mine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Down there, he just loves the gold. You're right.
He loves all the monies. He wants all the monies.
All the monies.
He really does.
Absolutely. And it looks like there are now 2 spirit towers up though at KurCo's base, and he should be able to defend pretty well just his base now versus versus Hawk's harass, which would actually allow KurCo to go down here and harass Hawk's Expo should he decide to, or alternatively even the main, because the main actually only has a guard tower that's about to finish and 1 arcane tower versus 2 guard towers. So either one is pretty much an easy target. It looks like he's going into the main right now. Maybe he'll go ahead and try to get the cancel on that guard tower. It does have 1 level of masonry, and it looks like it's going to go down just before it finishes. However, it will be canceled by Hawk, so really well played right there.
This is a good timing by KurCo, because right now he's only got 2 ghouls. He's at tier 2. He needs a 3rd ghoul if he wants to ever tech to tier 3 or like make consistent production. So I mean, he's gonna have to stall to get his 3rd ghoul out. And right now he's got 4 fiends, and he's just gonna try to contain and do as much damage as he can while he's stalling to build back up his economy.
Of course.
1 statue coming out as well.
Yeah, and also still note that Hawk is still at tier 1. He's just now beginning to put his tech up at the expansion, which is also not very well defended. So this is not a great situation for Hawk at all. Of course, we will see Hawk trying to take back the position, maybe advantage, by coming into KurCo's base and saying, okay, I want to do some damage. And this is going to come down to how well KurCo can control both his army and his base at the same time, because he's going to have to do some micro. As you can see, immediately Hawk decides to go for this Nubian tower. It's very forward, and if he doesn't go and repair that, he will lose that supply. And you know, going from 37 out of 40 to 37 out of 30 is not an ideal situation when you have this many units inside of your base that may potentially be going for your acolytes. We actually saw the acolytes sitting there meleeing a footman for just a moment, and over at the same time we can see it looks like Hawk's main base is actually going to get destroyed.
Oh wow, KurCo's not going to lose that Nubian.
He might.
At least not in time for his teleport. He's going to lose maybe 1 Echo, maybe 2. But,
Lost
I mean,
one
in
Acolyte.
exchange for Hawk having nothing in his main.
That was
good
well
trade.
worth it for KurCo.
Oh, well worth it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. And of course, this is kind of the thing I guess we've been talking about for a while now, with the way the undead versus human game sort of changing, is that we're seeing these very strong tier 2s from the undead players. And of course, for a long time, it was pretty much a given that the human player would come and harass the undead's base, and the undead had to defend it. But like I said, of course, well, not like I said, but well, I've said it, but not in this commentary. But we've seen Lucifer, once he started making those spirit towers and just showing us how to basically defend your base with just your base versus this human harass, we've been seeing the game just change.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really see the Lucifer style, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It was just a couple months ago, in fact, when all of this started.
I've noticed that a lot of humans are doing tier 2 pushes, or even tier 1 like mass fiend +1 pushes.
Yeah, and it's literally all of that comes from Lucifer's strategy. So Lucifer, of course, some people are saying, where is Lucifer? Well, I don't know where he's gone now. You might have an idea, Bidoux. I don't, because I know you
really don't
talk to him sometimes.
That's scary.
Isn't that
at all?
Really? When was the last time? No, don't say that.
Yeah,
don't say that without... No, don't say that.
I think he was trying to control a tank.
Don't say that. Don't say that's not funny.
Obviously he didn't.
Well, he almost died in the streets when he got stabbed or whatever, so I mean... That's
Did he really?
Yeah, like last year or something?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was like... He was in China, I think he was in Beijing or something. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Did he really?
Yeah, but of course... Keep trying to focus on this game. We can see Hawk has decided to try to do a little bit more harass to KurCo's base. You can see KurCo pulling out those ghouls and Hawk trying to kill him. Of course, KurCo trying to block and keep that ghoul alive. Looks like he should be able to, and of course, he's also going to be able to keep that Nerubian tower alive by repairing it, and now running those acolytes back towards his base, trying to keep everything alive and managing his base pretty well right now.
Yeah, KurCo at the same time going to micro that fiend out at Hawk's base and keep his fiends there and just defend his base with his heroes. And right now, KurCo can. KurCo can defend his base with just his heroes with those towers. There's nothing really that Hawk can do. He's got an idle ghoul. Okay, he's going to bring that in. I thought he was going to keep that on wood, but it wasn't doing anything. DK is going to hit level 4, and at the same time, these fiends are going to be out-microing the 2 footmen with defend, which, by the way, can handle 5 fiends.
No, they just got 1 fiend.
There we go.
And it looks like they're going to go for that second one, but it's going to get moved away.
Defended footies are very good.
Yeah, this is another great reason to always get Burrow in this situation. Especially if you ever think that you might be leaving your fiends unattended, you should definitely have Burrow, because of course footmen, unless they're using a reveal, which is expensive, it's 50 gold for every reveal, and even then, if you burrow at the right time, you can just unburrow and walk away out of the range of the reveal and burrow again. Of course, footmen themselves, they're not going to do anything at all to stop that. We're actually going to see a coil onto Hawk's Archmage, forcing him to TP because he was concerned about that Lich hitting to 125 mana, and that will TP him down to his expansion, as you can see, of where he has an Arcane Vault, so he can go ahead and heal up a little bit. But once again, sorry.
Hawk finally hitting tier 2. He's going to throw down 2 Arcane Sanctums at his expo. Should be seeing a second hero. Not sure what is it. Yeah, he should be seeing a second hero soon.
He might go for a Tavern Hero. He could pick up a Panda in this situation.
No, he has the Mountain King, sorry. He has the Mountain King. He's coming up with it. And he's probably going to Stormbolt a Fiend. Yep, he's right at the...
okay. I didn't see it.
Yep.
Oh,
I didn't notice it either.
I guess he's been tier 2 for a little bit longer than we thought.
That's what happens when we get sidetracked.
It is. And that Fiend will go down to a Bolt, picking up level 4 on the Archmage. As you can see, the Obsidian statue now trying to take a little bit of damage from these footmen, but it's going to try to back off and run away. And of course, we will see that entire army of KurCo now regrouping and deciding, let's go back into this fight and see where is Hawk going to be. Is Hawk going to run down towards that shop? He says, yes, okay, I'm going to go right back into this space because I know it's open, and I know that I can do a lot of damage if I kill these peasants. Really can try to screw over Hawk's economy. And Hawk is not... I mean, Hawk's really just not in a great position here. As you can see, he's actually running in 4 peasants right now, and all of those could go down. They were wood peasants, and it looks like all 4 of them will actually die to this army as they decide to start targeting it and coiling it as well. Of course, a little bit of mana was used and actually drained the Death Knight down to about 32 mana, but all 4 of those peasants did die, and we'll now once again see that statue starting to take some more damage, down to 60 life as he tries to retreat and not die to that Archmage or Water Elemental.
Yep, and Hawk's gonna start pumping out spell breakers. He's got the first one, second one coming soon, and Hawk's slowly gonna play patient.
Or 3 out right now. 3
Oh
spell
yeah,
breakers.
sorry, I don't even know why I wasn't looking at his army.
That's good.
He's pumping out spell breakers, so it means he's gonna stay patient. But at the same time, KurCo's trading really well, and if he keeps up this harass in this base, Hawk's gonna lose his main base, which isn't really his main base. His main base is kind of looking like an expo at this point. But
It is. It's still
yeah,
not
and if
something he wants to lose.
No, it's definitely not.
Oh, that Death Knight could be in trouble. He does not have a TP or any way out of this sort of situation. If he gets another bolt on him, he might be able to get this round. However, it looks like he will be able to get away from that. And I will also note that KurCo has begun Tier 3 tech, so it looks like he's got plenty of fiends at this point. And they are 2-0 upgrades compared to the 1-0 upgrades of these Spellbreakers and Footmen. Of course, we do see that that was one fiend going down, and of course, KurCo is now on the retreat.
Yep, and KurCo teching to Tier 3, and he's got that third goal. Thank God.
Yeah, he did get the third goal.
Really needs it. You really need wood when you're teching into.
Well, he did have 3 goals originally.
Is he gonna throw down a second slaughterhouse?
I don't think so. I don't think he needs it.
You don't?
No, I think it would be a waste of 145 gold because he's at 48 out of 50 food, right? And he's already got 2 statues out. So if he wants to go destroyers, he can go ahead. As soon as he hits Tier 3, he can pick up the destroyer research, and he already has 2 destroyers on the field that he can use for those destroyers. He doesn't really need more than 2 because he's not going for a Destro push here. He doesn't need to. There's just not that many towers, and he's versus Spellbreakers. And versus Spellbreakers is the only unit that you're really going to really want to have out of a Slaughterhouse is going to be Abominations. But at the same time, Frenzy Ghouls work just as well, and they're a much cheaper unit. Of course, the Abominations are pros and cons for both. Of course, the Frenzy Ghouls do more damage to the Spellbreakers. The Abominations, however, are much more tanky. So, you know, I mean, which direction do you go in that? I don't know, but I don't think he needs to put up a second slaughterhouse. He is going for a 3rd statue right now. I think what that's going to indicate is that he's probably interested in making a couple of Destros, and the 3rd statue is just going to be his mana battery, or necessarily for his whole army, basically. I think that's what we're going to see happen.
Yep, and Hawk picks up a Tome of Experience at the Goblin Merchant. His MK is going to hit level 3 with a really nice item for Spellbreakers, the Flute of Accuracy.
I think it's Illyria's. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Illyria? Yeah, Illyria.
Illyria.
She's a nice girl. I met her once.
Oh, really?
Really nice. Yeah, she makes really
I was
good
about
cookies.
to go meet her today, but...
Were you? Oh, you bailed on the plans with
bailed.
Illyria, man?
I did.
She makes really good cookies. Really good nookie cookies. Do you know what that is?
The Arcane Tower has died at Hawk's main base. And meanwhile, we're seeing Hawk coming into KurCo's base, going for the Tome of Relics. Looks like that's also going to go down. And this is not the kind of army that we're going to see this base defending on its own. And we did see one Acolyte getting Stormbolted and dying to that level 3 Mountain King. As you can see, KurCo now TPing back into the base to go ahead and try to defend against this. Those Spellbreakers are 2-0, so they do actually match the tech upgrade of the Fiends. If we look down at the Blacksmith, we can see he's not actually currently looking to upgrade those anymore yet. And there's actually an idle Goblin Shredder as well.
2-0 Fiends at that. There's 7-8 of them. That's a lot of Fiends.
It is a lot of Fiends, but again, they're Fiends. And of course, we can see at Hawk's base, once again, that was actually completely decimated. And that's just been decimated over and over this entire game. And we will see, of course, KurCo down here creeping out as well.
Keep in mind, Hawk killed KurCo's shot before he could pick up the orb.
Oh, that's a good point. So he doesn't have his orb yet. And that's really your main benefit of Tier 3. Of course, he was able to go ahead and get that Destroyer form researching, and that's about to finish here just right about, I want to say now as it hits, but I'm not. Oh, I toggled off of it. Now! So we'll say now. That's a little bit late, whatever. Yeah, so has he been able to remake that Acolyte? Not yet, but he is going for it right now. As you can see him pulling all those Acolytes away from Hawk's army. And here comes KurCo. We might see a fight going down right here, or maybe just a slaughter.
Yep, I think Hawk has no chance in fighting that in an ended base. At the same time, Paladin is out, and Hawk is transitioning into double Workshop.
Oh, did you see that? When Hawk TP'd, there was a very, very low HP Spellbreaker that was about to die, but it got TP'd and it died outside of his base.
That's upsetting.
Isn't that? Oh, shame. But that is a level 5 Death Knight and a level 4 Lich, with that Lich having a great potion of greater healing item. And on that Death Knight, we do have a potion of mana as well as a potion of healing. And a third hero has been picked up for Hawk. That's going to be a Paladin who actually has a pair up of Vitality and Rune Bracers, making him pretty tanky at 800 HP at level 1. And of course, the additional 33% spell reduction damage is pretty nice from those Rune Bracers. We're going to see it looks like some damage going off immediately onto that Mountain King with some very good nukes. However, he does have a potion of lesser invulnerability as well as a scroll of healing. And we can see KurCo's army is kind of split up, which is not an ideal situation. Next up, Hawk's Archmage is on the menu. As you can see, that the Archmage.
It's on the menu,
it's
man.
on
Nom,
the
nom,
menu.
nom.
And it looks like the Death Knight now in a little bit of trouble here. As you can see, him trying to go ahead and kill that Paladin. We'll be able to do that, and he does have a potion of greater healing. Unfortunately, he couldn't pop it because it was on cooldown because he used his potion of healing just a moment ago. And that's going to cause some bad news for KurCo. As we can see, he's going to have to try to deal with this level 4 being picked up by the Mountain King as well.
Say that orb is the difference between KurCo winning this fight and winning the game, and this fight being close. And that Lich is that Lich is in trouble.
Oh no.
So much. Okay, I think it's gonna get away.
There's no mana on the Mountain King, but it's gonna be an expensive getaway because he will have to trade some fiends for that.
Yeah, that's upsetting. Honestly, Hawk just put himself way ahead, and KurCo's not even building. Now he's building his DK. I think he's a little flustered and just trying to micro his units. Really good save on that Destro, but still losing that DK, playing a little too careless.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. He tried to get away. It was so close, too. So close, but it was a really nice round by Hawk. And, you know, when that happens sometimes, if anything, I would say that's a great reason. That's a great reminder to always carry a TP going into a battle like that. You know, sometimes it's worth not having that extra unit. Just saying, you know what, I don't want an extra feed. I want my TP in this battle.
Yeah, and that level 4 MK is looking scary.
And this Lich is getting very close to level 5. If you can pick up level 5, that'll be great. Of course, he did go ahead and creep a green. He just creeps one more camp pretty much anywhere on the map other than one of the 2 green slots. I think even one of the green slots would do it for him because he only needs 47 XP. So yeah, anywhere on the map will give him level 5. Of course, for Hawk, we can note that Hawk's Paladin is sitting at level 1, but he is creeping out this red right now, and we're going to see that Archmage backing off maybe. Just, I don't know, I think he should take a little bit of XP so he can pick up level 5. But if we can see that Paladin hitting to level 3, it's going to be really difficult for KurCo to actually kill the Paladin, and if that Paladin's alive,
the MK just picked up a pendant of mana.
It's gonna be really difficult to see any of the Hawk's heroes dying with that Paladin at level 3. But yeah, that's a great item right there. Pendant of mana, 250 additional mana on a Mountain King who already has
ridiculous.
A Brilliance Aura. So Brilliance Aura level 2, in fact.
With that aura, that basically gives him an extra 4.
Oh, this could be bad.
Bolts.
This could be really bad.
Oh no.
There is a TP on the Lich, but he could also lose a Destroyer. Yeah, the Destroyer's going to go down. And will he lose any of those Fiends? No, he won't, but that is an expensive TP because when you're costing 350 gold for the TP, 200 gold for the statue, and then, 100 gold for the Destroyer?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money right there.
In exchange for a little
650 gold, yeah. And an item. He got an Amulet of Spell Shield. I think it was worth it for just for the amulet. I mean, what a great item, but it was expensive.
Yep, KurCo's hero's 5/5. I mean, if he plays nice, he has to micro a lot, and really take advantage of that orb. There's a lot of gyros on the field. Those Destros probably won't be able to fight as much.
No, I mean, there's some fiends that can try to deal with that, and of course, if they're eating those water elementals, they could potentially kill the flying machines, but it's not looking good.
Picking up his second Tome of Experience with him giving it to the Paladin. Paladin is literally 1 kill away from level 3.
Oh, wow.
This is looking scary.
If we look at that food count, we can see 67 food for Hawk and 50 food for KurCo. And KurCo, of course, is not as well tacked. We can see those fiends at 2-0, the Spellbreakers at 3-0, and 5 on the Archmage, 4 on the Mountain King, and almost level 3 on the Paladin versus 5/5 on the Death Knight and the Lich. This fight is going underway, but it's essentially just KurCo running away from Hawk.
Yeah, and Hawk using the Spellbreakers. Wow, that was a huge... I forget what the spell's called.
Thunderclap.
Thunderclap, yeah. And he just...
Oh, here comes a bolt on the Lich as well.
And the Lich
down
just
so close to the coil!
The most frustrating thing, I think, is when you're an undead player and you coil a thing and it dies right before the coil. You see the coil, you see the green light, and you're like, yeah, gimme! And then no. And it just, that's really upsetting. And I think something in KurCo's stomach, maybe even a pit, just grew because he probably feels really, really bad about that.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. And this is a fight he's going to keep trying to defend, but as you can see, his altar will go down. So if he's going to get that Lich out anytime soon, he's going to have to tavern it back. Of course, he doesn't really have any easy way to get a unit to the center of the map. He can maybe send a Destroyer, but he has to hold out this whole time without that Lich. And of course, we might see the Mountain King going down here. As you can see, he's taking a bit of focus fire, but there is, of course, that Paladin in the back to go ahead and cast a Holy Light, bringing him pretty much well back up to about over half-life, which is going to be really difficult. I don't foresee KurCo actually being able to really hold this out much longer. As you can see, I mean, his gold mine
really
is
wishing
running
he
out.
had a V8 Pure. He's really wishing he had a V8 this morning.
What? Okay.
Could have had a V8.
Could have had a V8. He could have had a V8. Instead, he's having a big glass of Hawk.
Yeah. Say that like really fast.
A big glass of Hawk. Oh, wow. No, no. Look, no, I see what you're trying to say. No. So we see the Paladin now taking some damage. Will the Paladin go down? He does have a potion of lesser invulnerability. Gonna pop that at 9 HP. And of course,
gonna get bolted. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. This game is.
I mean, well,
I don't really like preemptively calling GG. I would like to see KurCo kill that Paladin before it goes down. I think he's gonna lose the Paladin right here. Or the DK.
No,
DK is so low.
He's gonna get the Holy Light's gonna hit first,
yeah.
and down he goes. GG called by KurCo. Well played by both players. An impressive comeback from Hawk, though. Wow, definitely wasn't expecting that. I definitely think Hawk was behind for a good portion of that game, and he kept losing all of the units, all of the peasants, the buildings at his main. But he just said, you know what, I'm going to stay focused on my goal. My goal, I have an expansion that's up and running. I'm teching at it. And if I just keep it up and I keep the unit production and I just play my cards right and don't lose my army, then he won't be able to keep on pushing. And I can keep on pushing his base, and he's going to have to keep TPing back. And that's how Hawk dealt with it. And that was a beautiful play. And do you have any post-game analysis?
Honestly, it was the DK being killed and the lack of buying orb that really screwed him over. Yeah.
I agree, definitely. If he had that orb earlier on, I think... Did he even get it that game? I don't think he did.
He did.
Oh, he did?
But it
Okay.
was when his DK was dead.
Oh, yeah, so it was actually, like, there at the very end. Yeah, I mean, without the orb in the earlier fights, of course, again, losing his DK, like you said, really cost him a lot. I think if he had been able to, if he hadn't lost his DK, maybe if he had a potion of lesser invulnerability, he could have popped or something like that. I think he would have been okay going forward in that situation. You know, I think he could have maybe even ended the game there, but losing the DK just like that was really unfortunate for him, and he did have to back off, and it was even expensive just to back off. So, yeah, I think you're definitely right about that.
Yep, definitely.
All right.
Otherwise, nice. We did a cast together.
Yeah, we did a cast together. Hopefully we'll be able to do Zotac this weekend, hopefully. Which
Yeah,
is
we will.
A couple days from now, 3 days, 4 days, 7 days.
It's in like
a month,
14 days.
7 weeks.
3 days.
3 days. 3 days. Yeah, so it's Saturday. You know, if we do it, there will be a notification video posted on the YouTube channel. You can always check that out, and it'll be like, "Hey, we're doing Zotac. It's like 8 in the morning. Hello." Woo. Something like that.
Is your voice gonna be that high pitch? Can it be?
Maybe we could. I got some
Hello?
post editing. I got some post editing and software I can do.
I got some popsicles in my cellar.
Got some popsicles if you want some.
Okay, I think they've seen it.
All right. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.